Have you ever cracked an egg into a pan, cooked it, and thought you were doing something good for your body, only to realize you might actually be making a mistake? Eggs are known for being a great source of protein, vitamins, and nutrients. But how you handle, store, and cook them can make a big difference in whether they help or hurt your health. In this video, we'll go over 5 common mistakes that could be ruining your eggs and your health without you even realizing it. Stick around until the end, because we're not just pointing out what's wrong, but also giving you simple tips to make sure your eggs stay safe and healthy so you can enjoy them without any worries. Before we start, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any new videos. If you like this video, comment 1 below, and if you don't like it, comment 0 to let me know so I can improve. Let's get started. Number 1. Overcooking eggs. A common mistake people make in the kitchen is overcooking eggs, often without realizing it. Eggs are full of high-quality protein, healthy fats, and important vitamins and minerals like choline, selenium, and vitamin D. But when you cook them too much, it can turn this healthy food into something less helpful and even harmful. Overheating eggs, like frying them until the edges are brown, boiling them until the yolk looks gray-green, or scrambling them on a high flame, changes their structure. This makes the fats and cholesterol in the eggs react in ways that are bad for your body. For example, oxidized cholesterol can lead to inflammation, which is linked to serious health problems like heart disease. If you've ever cracked open an overcooked egg and smelled a bad sulfur odor, that's a sign the egg has been overcooked. This doesn't mean the egg is poisonous, but it shows that the nutrition has been affected. Over time, eating eggs this way could lead to health problems, especially for older adults. Take Robert, a 76-year-old who loved fried eggs cooked on high heat for years. Over time, he started feeling bloated, sluggish, and sometimes had heartburn. His friend who was into nutrition explained that overcooking eggs can be harmful. Robert decided to try cooking eggs on lower heat, and after a few weeks, he noticed less bloating, less heartburn, and more energy. Overcooking eggs also reduces their nutritional value. Eggs are great for providing vitamin B12, folate, and antioxidants that help protect your vision and brain. But when you cook them at high heat for too long, these nutrients break down and your body can't absorb them as well. If eggs are an important part of your diet, it matters how you cook them. You might think you're eating a super healthy food, but overcooking them means you're missing out on a lot of the benefits. The good news is that you don't need to give up eggs. Just make a few simple changes to how you cook them. Cooking eggs at lower temperatures will help preserve their nutrients. For example, boil them for 6-7 minutes for a soft yolk instead of boiling them for 15 minutes. Poaching is another gentle way to cook eggs, where you simmer them instead of boiling them hard. If you like scrambled eggs, cook them on medium-low heat and stir slowly to keep them soft, not dry. And if you like fried eggs, use medium heat and remove them from the pan before they get too brown. These changes not only keep the eggs healthy, but also improve their flavor and texture. Eggs are one of the best foods you can eat if you treat them right. By avoiding overcooking, you can enjoy all the benefits without any risk. Making small changes in how you cook eggs can improve your long-term health, so next time you cook them, try turning down the heat. It's a simple change that makes a big difference. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, please comment 1 below to let me know you're here. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 2, eating raw or undercooked eggs. Many people swear by the habit of eating raw or undercooked eggs, convinced that it's the ultimate way to unlock their full nutritional potential. Eggs are undeniably a powerhouse of nutrients, loaded with high-quality protein, essential vitamins like B12 and D, and vital minerals such as selenium and phosphorus. The appeal is understandable. Why cook away what nature has already perfected? However, what these enthusiasts often overlook is that this practice carries significant health risks that can outweigh the perceived benefits. The primary danger lies in the potential exposure to harmful bacteria, particularly Salmonella, a notorious pathogen that can lurk on eggshells or even inside the egg itself. For the general population, consuming raw or undercooked eggs might seem like a minor gamble, but it's a particularly risky choice for older adults. As we age, our immune systems naturally decline in efficiency, leaving seniors more vulnerable to infections that younger, healthier bodies might shrug off with ease. What could manifest as a brief bout of discomfort, perhaps a day or two of an upset stomach, in a 20-something could spiral into a life-threatening ordeal for someone in their 60s or beyond. Foods that commonly contain raw eggs, like homemade mayonnaise, uncooked cake batter, raw cookie dough, or those tempting sunny-side-up eggs with runny yolks, might seem harmless in the moment, but each bite is a roll of the dice, and salmonella contamination, though statistically uncommon, is a very real possibility that's not worth ignoring. When salmonella strikes, the consequences can be brutal. Symptoms often start subtly but can escalate quickly. A spiking fever, relentless stomach cramps, persistent diarrhea, and vomiting that leaves you drained and dehydrated. For seniors, whose bodies are less equipped to bounce back, this can escalate into a medical emergency. Dehydration alone can strain the kidneys and heart, while the infection might require hospitalization or even lead to complications like sepsis in severe cases. And don't be fooled into thinking that a pristine-looking egg from the grocery store is a guaranteed safe bet. Even eggs that appear spotless can harbor bacteria if they've been mishandled during production, transport, or storage, or if they came from an infected hen to begin with. Let's paint a picture with a real-life example. Meet Margaret, a vibrant 68-year-old retiree with a passion for healthy living. For years, she kicked off her mornings with a raw egg smoothie, blending it with fruit and a splash of juice. She'd read somewhere that raw eggs were a secret weapon for maximizing nutrient absorption, and she swore by the energy boost it gave her. That is, until one fateful week, when everything changed. It started with a nagging stomach ache, then came waves of nausea, followed by days of debilitating pain and sickness. After a worried visit to her doctor, the diagnosis hit hard: salmonella poisoning. Margaret was stunned. She trusted those eggs, purchased from a reputable store for years, never suspecting they could betray her like that. It took weeks to fully recover, and the ordeal left her shaken. Determined to stay healthy without risking her well-being, Margaret made a simple switch. She started cooking her eggs thoroughly, scrambled, boiled, or poached, always cooked until the yolks and whites were firm. She found she could still enjoy the same nutritional benefits without playing Russian roulette with her health. Since making that change, she's never had another incident, proving that a small adjustment can make a world of difference. But bacterial contamination isn't the only reason to steer clear of raw eggs. There's another sneaky drawback: a protein called avavin, naturally present in raw egg whites. Avavin has a pesky habit of binding to biotin, a crucial B vitamin that supports everything from a healthy metabolism to strong nerves, skin, and hair. When you eat raw eggs, avavin latches onto biotin like a clingy guest, preventing your body from absorbing it properly. Over time, this could lead to a biotin deficiency, subtly undermining your health in ways you might not notice until it's too late. The good news? Cooking eggs neutralizes avidin completely, freeing up biotin and all the other nutrients to work their magic without interference. Now, some raw egg advocates might argue, what about organic or free-range eggs? Aren't they safer? It's a fair question, but the answer is sobering. No egg is immune to contamination. Whether it's from a factory farm or a picturesque pasture, Salmonella doesn't discriminate based on the egg's origin or the hen's lifestyle. Organic and free-range eggs might offer other benefits like higher omega-3 content or better animal welfare, but when it comes to bacterial risk, they're on the same playing field as conventional eggs. The only foolproof defense is heat. Cooking eggs until both the whites and yolks are fully set eliminates the danger. No exceptions. So what are your safest options? Scrambled eggs cooked until fluffy and firm, hard-boiled eggs with no trace of a runny center, or poached eggs where the yolk has lost its liquid wobble. All of these deliver the same nutritional punch without the peril. If you're someone who can't resist the allure of a runny yolk, consider pasteurized eggs, which are heat-treated to kill bacteria while keeping the yolk soft. They're a decent compromise, though cooking eggs thoroughly remains the gold standard for safety. It's a small price to pay for peace of mind. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3. Storing cooked eggs improperly. When it comes to eggs, many folks don't give a second thought to how they store them after cooking. It's easy to assume that once they're scrambled, boiled, or fried, they're safe to leave sitting out or toss in the fridge without much care. However, improper storage can transform a delicious, nutrient-packed meal into a potential health hazard practically overnight. Cooked eggs, if not handled correctly, can become a thriving breeding ground for harmful bacteria that pose serious risks, especially to vulnerable groups like seniors. The science behind this is straightforward but often overlooked. Bacteria thrive in warm, moist conditions, and cooked eggs are no exception to this rule. Once eggs are left at room temperature, or anywhere in the so-called danger zone between 40°F and 140°F, pathogens like Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli can begin multiplying at an alarming rate. In fact, studies show that bacterial growth can double every 20 minutes under these conditions, meaning a small oversight like leaving a plate of scrambled eggs on the counter for a couple of hours could turn into a risky gamble with your health. For older adults, whose immune systems may not be as robust as they once were, the consequences of foodborne illness can be far more severe, ranging from prolonged sickness to hospitalizations. Consider a common scenario. You've whipped up a batch of fluffy scrambled eggs for breakfast, but you get distracted by a phone call or a task around the house. 2 or 3 hours later, you return to find the plate still sitting there. They look fine, so you dig in without a second thought. What you might not realize is that during that time, bacteria could have already started to colonize the surface of the eggs, turning a simple meal into a potential source of nausea, vomiting, or worse. This is especially concerning for seniors, as their bodies are less equipped to fight off infections that younger, healthier individuals might shrug off more easily. Proper storage is the key to avoiding these risks, and it starts the moment the eggs are done cooking. If you're not eating them right away, they need to be cooled quickly and transferred to the refrigerator within 2 hours, or 1 hour if the room is particularly warm, like on a hot summer day. Once in the fridge, cooked eggs should be kept in an airtight container to prevent exposure to air and potential contaminants. Hard-boiled eggs, for instance, can stay safe in the refrigerator for up to a week, provided their shells are intact and they're stored properly. Scrambled eggs, Omelets or fried eggs, on the other hand, have a shorter shelf life. Ideally, they should be consumed within 3 to 4 days to ensure freshness and safety. Take the example of George, a 72-year-old retiree with a passion for meal prepping. To save time during the busy week, George would cook a large batch of scrambled eggs every Sunday, storing them in a loosely covered bowl in his refrigerator. Each morning, he'd scoop out a portion, reheat it, and enjoy his quick breakfast. But after a few weeks of this routine, he started noticing recurring stomach discomfort, bloating, nausea, and occasional cramps. At first, he chalked it up to aging or something else he'd eaten, but when the symptoms persisted, he took a closer look at his habits and realized his egg storage might be to blame. The loose cover wasn't keeping the eggs fresh, and the big batch was sitting too long. After switching to smaller batches stored in airtight containers, George's digestive troubles vanished, proving that a small tweak in storage habits can make a world of difference. Beyond the timing and containers, there's another sneaky danger to watch out for: cross-contamination. Cooked eggs might seem safe because they've been heated, but once they cool down, they're just as susceptible to picking up bacteria as any other perishable food. If you store them in the fridge, next to raw meat, unwashed produce, or anything else that might harbor germs, those pathogens can easily transfer to the eggs. For instance, imagine placing a bowl of scrambled eggs on a shelf above a package of raw chicken that's leaking just a little. The tiniest drip could introduce salmonella to your cooked eggs, and you'd never know until it's too late. To avoid this, always store cooked eggs on a separate shelf, preferably in a sealed container, and keep your fridge organized to minimize risks. Reheating, which is a whole other area where people often go wrong. If you've ever popped leftover eggs in the microwave only to end up with a rubbery, slightly smelly mess, you've experienced firsthand how tricky reheating can be. Microwaving tends to overcook eggs unevenly, zapping their nutrients and turning their texture tough and unappealing. Worse, if the eggs weren't stored properly to begin with, reheating won't kill off any bacteria that's already taken hold. It might even make the problem worse by giving pathogens a warm, cozy environment to multiply further. A smarter approach is to reheat eggs gently on the stovetop over low heat. Add a splash of water, broth, or even a dab of butter to keep them moist and prevent that dreaded rubbery consistency. This method preserves both flavor and nutrition while reducing the risk of overcooking. In short, storing cooked eggs improperly is a mistake that's easy to make but just as easy to avoid with a little awareness and care. By keeping them cold, sealed, and separate from potential contaminants and reheating them thoughtfully, you can enjoy your eggs safely and deliciously every time. Number 4. Using damaged or expired eggs. One of the quickest ways to turn a wholesome egg dish into a health nightmare is by cooking with eggs that are cracked, past their prime, or improperly stored. At first glance, an egg might look perfectly fine, a smooth shell, no obvious flaws, but hidden damage or age can make it a ticking time bomb for bacteria like salmonella. This is a bigger deal than many realize, especially for seniors, whose immune systems weaken with age, leaving them less equipped to fend off infections that might only cause mild discomfort in younger folks. Egg freshness is something people often take for granted. You might pull a curtain from the fridge, glance at the expiration date, and assume everything's good to go. But expiration dates aren't foolproof. Eggs mishandled, or they might stay fresh a bit longer if stored perfectly. So how do you know for sure? The simplest, most reliable trick is the water test. Fill a bowl with cold water and gently place the egg in. If it sinks to the bottom and lies flat, it's fresh as can be. If it stands upright on one end, it's still edible, but nearing the end of its prime. Use it soon. If it floats to the surface, it's gone bad, and you should toss it without hesitation. This happens because, over time, air seeps through the shell, forming a pocket that makes older eggs buoyant. Take Evelyn, a 74-year-old grandmother who prides herself on her careful eating habits. She had always been diligent about checking labels and avoiding junk food, but she never paid much attention to the condition of her eggs. One morning, she cracked an egg into her skillet for her usual sunny-side-up breakfast and caught a faint whiff of something off. An odd sulfur-like smell. Thinking it was no big deal, she cooked it anyway, figuring the heat would take care of any issues. A few hours later, she was hit with waves of nausea, stomach cramps, and a general feeling of misery. A visit to her doctor confirmed it: food poisoning from a spoiled egg. Shaken by the experience, Evelyn started using the water test religiously before cracking any egg, and she hasn't had a problem since. Her story is a reminder that even the most cautious among us can miss this simple but critical step. The risks don't stop at expiration, though. How eggs are handled before they reach your kitchen matters just as much. Eggs are surprisingly delicate, and temperature plays a huge role in their safety. If they've been stored too warm at the grocery store, during transport, or even in your own home, condensation can form on the shells. That moisture creates a perfect environment for bacteria to thrive, seeping through tiny pores in the shell and into the egg itself. This is why experts recommend keeping eggs in the coldest part of your refrigerator, typically the back of a middle or lower shelf, rather than the door. The door might be convenient, but it's subject to constant temperature swings every time you open the fridge, which can speed up spoilage and increase the risk of contamination. Cracked eggs are another major red flag. Even a hairline fracture, barely visible to the naked eye, can let bacteria slip inside. You might not notice the crack when you grab the carton from the store, but by the time you're ready to cook, that egg could already be compromised. If you spot a crack, no matter how small, it's best to err on the side of caution and discard it. The same goes for eggs that smell strange, look discolored, like a cloudy white or pinkish yolk, or feel off when you crack them. These are telltale signs of spoilage, and cooking won't always neutralize the problem. Some bacterial toxins can survive heat. Consider how eggs get to your table in the first place. They're laid, collected, packed, shipped, and stocked, all steps where mishandling can occur. A bump during transport might crack a shell, or a store might leave a carton out of the cooler too long. By the time you bring them home, you're inheriting whatever history they've had. That's why inspecting eggs before use isn't just a good habit, it's a safeguard. Hold each one up to the light or gently roll it in your hand to check for cracks, and trust your senses if something seems off. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. Combining eggs with unhealthy cooking oils. Eggs are a nutritional powerhouse, loaded with high-quality protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals that support everything from brain health to muscle maintenance. But even the best eggs can lose their shine if you cook them in the wrong oil. One of the most common mistakes people make is pairing eggs with unhealthy, highly processed cooking oils, turning a wholesome meal into something that could quietly harm your body over time. This is especially critical for seniors, who need to be mindful of inflammation and age-related health risks that can creep up with poor dietary choices. Not all oils are created equal, and the differences go beyond taste. Highly processed vegetable oils like soybean, corn, canola, or generic vegetable oil blends are staples in many kitchens because they're cheap and widely available. But here's the catch. These oils are often refined using harsh chemicals and high heat, stripping away natural nutrients and leaving behind unstable fats. when you cook with them, especially at the high temperatures needed for frying eggs. They break down further, producing harmful compounds like trans fats, oxidized lipids, and free radicals. These nasties have been linked to chronic inflammation, heart disease, and even cognitive decline, issues that hit harder as we age. For seniors, the stakes are higher. Chronic inflammation from a lifetime of eating these unhealthy fats can fuel conditions like arthritis, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease, all of which become more common with age. Younger bodies might handle occasional exposure to these compounds with fewer immediate consequences, but for older adults, the cumulative damage can add up fast. If you've ever fried eggs in margarine or a bottle of bargain bin vegetable oil, you might have unknowingly introduced these risks into your diet. Take Frank, a 78-year-old who'd been cooking his morning eggs in the same generic vegetable oil for decades. It was a habit he picked up years ago. Pour a glug of oil into the pan, crack the eggs, and call it breakfast. He never gave it much thought. Oil was just oil, right? But after attending a community health talk where he learned about the dangers of processed seed oils, Frank decided to experiment. He swapped out his old standby for butter one week and extra virgin olive oil the next. To his surprise, he started feeling less foggy and bloated after meals. His digestion improved and he had a little more pep in his step. The eggs tasted better too. It wasn't a drastic overhaul, just a smarter choice in how he prepared his food, and it made a tangible difference. The trouble with unhealthy oils often boils down to their smoke point, the temperature at which they start to degrade and release toxic byproducts. Many processed vegetable oils have low smoke points, meaning they can't handle the heat of a sizzling skillet without breaking down. When they do, they unleash free radicals, unstable molecules that bounce around your body, damaging cells, accelerating aging, and contributing to oxidative stress. Fry eggs at high heat in these oils day after day, and you're essentially cooking up a side of inflammation alongside your meal. Contrast that with healthier options like butter, ghee, coconut oil, or extra virgin olive oil. These fats are more stable under heat, meaning they're less likely to turn toxic when you cook with them. Butter and ghee bring a rich, satisfying flavor while delivering nutrients like vitamin A and butyrate, which supports gut health. Coconut oil, with its high smoke point and medium-chain triglycerides, offers a tropical twist and energy-boosting benefits. Extra virgin olive oil, a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, is packed with antioxidants and monounsaturated fats that protect your heart and brain. If you're looking for a neutral, versatile option, avocado oil is another winner. Its high smoke point and mild taste make it perfect for eggs, and it's loaded with healthy fats. The real lesson here isn't just about avoiding bad oils, it's about rethinking how you cook. Eggs are only as good as the way you prepare them. Pair them with a stable, nutrient-rich fat, and you've got a meal that nourishes your body and tastes incredible. Stick with the wrong oil, and you're undermining all that goodness, swapping health benefits for hidden risks. It's a small change with a big payoff, especially for seniors looking to stay vibrant and strong for years to come. Well, there you have it. 5 common mistakes that can turn eggs from a health-boosting powerhouse into a hidden risk, and the simple changes you can make to keep them safe and nutritious. Now that we've walked through all this together, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that surprised you or opened your eyes? Maybe it's cooking eggs on lower heat, checking their freshness with a water test, or swapping out that vegetable oil for something healthier. Whatever it is, drop a comment below and let me know one thing you're going to bring into your life from now on. Your insights mean a lot to us. If you like this video, please leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us keep bringing you tips to live better every day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.